Hi there, welcome to this tutorial. Today we're going to be using a new stamp from my new collection. This one's called Let's Go Fly a Kite, and we're going to be decorating that with botanical stains. So these are from Creative Expressions. Okay, I'm going to use these to give a watercolor effect to this image. So I'll turn the cameras down to their desk and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Okay, so I've taped my paper down to the stamping platform just to stop the paper warping when I'm painting. We're going to be using the Let's Fly a Kite stamp along with some black archival ink. So I've aligned my stamp on the platform along with the sentiment. And we use some black archival ink. Okay, make sure it's nice and juicy and just tap gently all over the stamp. Okay, and now just align it with the platform and push quite firmly all over the surface of the stamp. Now, it might be you won't get a great print the first time. Let's have a look. Yeah, so it's a little bit faded there, so I'm going to add a little bit more archival ink. Okay, so just press the plate down again and push the stamp firmly. Okay, that's much better. Yep, happy with that. So just clear the space now and make way and we'll start painting. The first colour we're going to be using is Looping Teal from the Botanical Stains. So I'm going to use this for the sky. Give them a little bit of a shake first. And you see it's got a lovely little dripper bottle. Add a few drips to your palette. Actually, I think I might want a little bit more. So I'm using a squirrel hairbrush for this, slightly damp, but I will just add a little tiny bit of water to the stain. You don't need to add a lot of water to these stains. They're very desaturated colours, which means that they're great for beginners as well because you can build up the colour. You know, sometimes you add water and the colour's too strong. With these you can just build it up as you go along. So let the first layer dry, add a little bit more. So I'm not covering the whole sky here, just very roughly here and there. We want some of that white of the paper to show through. Just a quick note, I'm using 300 GSM smooth cardstock for this. I do like to use watercolour paper a lot, but I do like a smooth kind of cold press watercolour paper. And I think I'll show you how I use the watercolour paper in the next tutorial that I do. So, the next colour we're going to use is Woad Blue. And if I'm correct, I think woad is a wild plant, and they make a blue dye from that wild plant. Like the previous colour, Lupin Teal, so from the lupin plant. So that's the reason why these stains are called botanicals. So I'm not going to add any water to this. And we're just going to paint in where the water is and the reflections of the two children. So we want to leave a little bit of white space here, the same as we did with the sky, because this is going to be the reflection in the water. Now try to be very free with your brush strokes for this. Really, the freer, the better results you're going to get. The reason I'm using the stains for these stamps is that they're completely transparent, so it means it's not going to dull the black ink below them. I will, however, show you a way of getting around that in the next tutorial that I do using watercolour. Now, I'm going to leave this to dry and we'll come back with the next step. Now, using the Woad Blue again, I'm just going to colour in the little boy's shirt. I'm going to start on the left hand side, so the light's coming in from the right, so I want to leave some negative space on the top of his shoulder. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to deepen it a little bit on the left hand side. So I'm kind of pooling the stain in here. Might come back to that again later. And we're going to add a little bit of colour to the bottom of the shirt sleeve and the bottom of the shirt. There we go. Next colour we're going to be using is Marigold, again the Botanical stains. And just drop a little bit of this onto the palette. So I'm going to add a little bit of water into the stain and use this colour for a hair. And then onto a dress as well. So the same colour. But I'm going to deepen the dress slightly. So I'm going to pick up plenty of the stain. I'm just going to puddle this in on the left hand side. So we're giving it a bit of a shade. Also add a little bit of a shade to the bottom of the dress, the bottom of the sleeve, and the left hand side of her hair. Because remember, the light's coming in from the right hand side. And now I'm just going to add a little bit of the same colour into the reflection in the water. Keeping the brush strokes nice and light. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the woe blue into the reflection for the little boy's shirt. And deepen that left hand side of the shirt a bit more. Okay, next colour is called Carrot Top. And just drop some of this onto your palette, avoiding the other colours. And just add this with no water onto the little island that they're sat on. And I'm just pulling this colour in because I want it to be a little bit deeper. And just add a little bit into the reflection on the water as well. So next I'm going to colour the kite. Now there is no bright red with the botanical stain, so here I'm just using some red watercolour, cadmium red, with a very fine brush. So I hope you can see what we've done so far. It's very simple, even for a complete novice or even a child. Just getting used to working with the stains, but I say they're so forgiving, and it's difficult to make mistakes. Okay, so next we're going to use the Cosmic Shimmer Intense Pigment Stains. So this is cocoa bean. So these are very similar to botanicals, but they're a lot higher in pigment. So I like to use these if I want to intensify the botanical stain slightly, or you can use them on their own, as I'm going to do here. So I'm going to add this to the little boy's hair. And again, I'm going in from the left hand side. And remember, the light's coming in from the right hand side, so I'm going to leave some negative space in the hair. Okay, so I'm going to mix some of this in with marigold now, just to deepen the marigold a little bit. And I'm going to add a little bit of shadow to the left hand side of the girl's dress. And add a little bit of shadow onto the left hand side of the little girl's hair. Okay, next colour is Botanical Stains again, and this is Tea Leaves. And it's a really nice colour for skin tones. It's a very pale, kind of beigey pink. So pop a little bit onto the palette. I'm just going to add a little bit to the side of the boy's face here. And a little bit to the girl's arms. Now we use the cocoa bean for the boy's hair, so I'm going to pick up a little bit of that and just again add that to the reflection. Okay, so I think we're nearly done here. We've kept it nice and simple. But I think on this island it needs a few little tufts of grass. I'm sounding like Bob Ross now. So with a fine liner pen, just a few upstrokes, just a few tufts of grass. I think one more over here. And I think that's it for this simple tutorial. So all we need to do now is take off the masking tape. And I like to heat the masking tape with my heat tool. It kind of prevents it tearing the paper when you tear it off. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and it's all made sense. And if you have, please like the video. And join me for the next one where we'll be delving more into watercolour and different mediums. So I will see you soon. Bye for now.